Irene
MAGA fan. Like megaphone, but MAGA fan.
MAGA fan is what I said, right?
That was
MAGA
it.
fan. MAGA fan. MAGA fan. Take 2.
She's a fan.
Hey everybody, it's Premier Gal here. Today I'm with my good friend Irene MAGA fan, and we're going to talk to her a little bit about her film, The Bonobo Connection. It's a short documentary film. And so, welcome Irene. Irene, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Yeah, I'm a documentary filmmaker, and I also work for the World Wildlife Fund doing video work for them. I'm a video editor and archivist. So video has been in my blood for a long time. Storytelling has been in my blood for a long time. I believe in storytelling tremendously to tell important stories, to get dialogue going, and just to inspire people. So for me, I've always been inspired by visuals, by animals, by important stories. So this led me to the Bonobo Connection.
A bonobo here, Toby, right?
Yes, this is Toby the bonobo.
So you did the Bonobo Connection for your MFA at American, is that correct?
That is correct, yeah. So I got my Master of Fine Arts degree in film and electronic media, and the Bonobo Connection it was a documentary that I produced and wrote, and that was for my master's thesis. And then it sort of took off and became something more. It became part of like a movement, if you will, a campaign to campaign on behalf of bonobo conservation.
Okay. So to people that don't know, what is a bonobo?
Bonobo. Say it with me. Bonobo.
It's awesome to say. It's bonobo.
Have you heard of one? Most people have not. So a bonobo is one of the great apes. They are cousins to the chimpanzee. So we know how, chimps are very aggressive. They form gangs. They're sort of like politicians in a way. Well, bonobos.
Very timely.
That's right. So bonobos are basically their peaceful counterpart. So bonobos, they love peace. They're equally as related to chimps as they are to humans. So we share 99.8% of our DNA with them. So we have an incredible amount to learn from them and a lot to share with them. So bonobos are one of the great apes.
Great. And so with the documentary film, I just watched it and I loved it. And I was really fascinated with the various different techniques because I love documentary filmmaking and your choice of using a voiceover throughout and using multiple sources of footage, I noticed. So do you want to sort of describe how you came up with the idea of finding Ashley Judd to actually do the voiceover and how you went about structuring the film from the beginning?
Sure, definitely. So it was certainly a challenge. I actually did not have a script when I first started this piece. I just knew that the bonobos had a very important story to tell. So that was all that I knew. And I knew to get people to care about wildlife conservation, it's always great if you can tag on a big name. And I wanted a celebrity to narrate. I wanted it to be a woman because bonobos live in a matriarchal society. That's a very, very big part of who a bonobo represents.
Right.
They're female-driven. The females run the show. So I was fortunate enough through a colleague to meet Ashley Judd, and she was recommended to me. And I just sent her an email telling her what I was doing, and I waited 5-6 months, and she graciously accepted to narrate the film for me. So I went down
5 to 6 months, though. You were patient.
I was. I waited quite a while, and at that point, I was just trying to think of other options. And all of a sudden, it just popped into my inbox, and it was funny because she said, "I'd be honored to narrate the film." Ashley.
Did you already have a cut of it done at the time, and you were like, "I need a voice," because you wanted to have something prepared to tell her,
right? So the only thing I had was a promo. And I had started shooting, but I just had a promo, and my promo was sort of kicking off my campaign, helping me raise money, raise funds for the film. So no, I basically at that point had a script. I had a voiceover script, so I gave it to her. She's very familiar with the bonobo cause, so it was something that she was really passionate about. She had been to the Congo to see them firsthand.
Oh wow!
So I traveled down to Tennessee, and we recorded at a studio down there. We recorded at a studio down there where she does a lot of her work, and I was incredibly grateful for her to lend her voice to such an important cause.
That's fantastic. And with some of the shots that you included, I noticed I think I was a researcher in the Congo that worked with the local community to sort of sustain the environment for the bonobos at one of the conservation centers, and he was in some shots where like the edges were sort of blurred out. Was that a technique that you just did because the footage was not the exact aspect ratio you needed?
Correct. So with the Bonobo Connection, we actually had some challenges because we worked with a lot of mixed media.
Right.
So I went out and shot a bunch myself. We had voiceover, we had photographs, we had archival footage. Then we had, so the archival footage was SD footage. It was standard definition. Plus I had some borrowed footage from a number of colleagues. So we had all kinds of mixed media. We had mixed formats. So we had to try to figure out a way to mesh everything. And we took a journalistic approach to the archival footage. So that's exactly right, Kelsey. What we did was we had standard definition. Because the footage was standard def, we decided to put 2 bars to really distinguish the journalistic archival footage that was lent to me.
Yeah, and to show you guys what that looks like, I'm going to show you guys a quick clip right now.
The bushmeat trade and habitat loss are the 2 biggest threats to bonobos. Because of this, bonobos are one of the most endangered of the great apes. Bonobos were the last of the great apes to be discovered and could be the first African ape to become extinct.
So now that you guys got to see what I was talking about in that clip, is there a name for that type of style? Like, is that like a technique that is well known? Sort of the blurred edges? Or maybe we could call it the MAGAFan effect.
There we go. I like that. I think we just coined it.
The MAGAFan effect.
To me, it gives people a different way to look at the footage. So I wanted to kind of, because a lot of the shots were done in the jungle, so I wanted them to really kind of get that feel that they're in the jungle, but it's a little bit obscure. It's kind of abstract. So is the whole idea of the bonobo and what they live for can actually be somewhat abstract sometimes. It's a lot of big ideas. It's a lot to get used to. So we wanted people to, we didn't just want to show them flat images. I think we wanted them to kind of feel like they were there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I liked the pacing of it too. Like you would have the Ken Burns effect, kind of slowly zoom in on the image and the face. And if you guys see the film, you'll notice that throughout the film, it's really focusing on that connection that you have with people, and you look in people's eyes, right, when you connect with them. And with a bonobo, it's like you're looking at a human, and so those editing techniques were really powerful. So
thank you. I think one of the goals, my editor, Tom Fish, he was wonderful. And what we decided to do was, a lot of films that you see are very fast-paced and things are being thrown at you constantly. What we wanted to do, Kelsey, was actually take our time. We wanted people to sit with the image and wanted them just to take it in, because bonobos are so human-like. We have so much in common. When you're with them, they actually look into you. They don't just look at you. It's like they know you. They know what's going on with you. It's an amazing feeling. So we wanted to kind of slow things down and just let the film breathe and let people just sit with the image, sit with their eyes. And that's what we try to do.
That's great. Well, thanks so much, Irene.
Thank you, Kelsey.
How can people follow you?
Yes, so a few things. On Twitter, I'm at Irene A. MAGAFan. And of course, the bonobos have their own Facebook page, the Bonobo Connection /Facebook.com. So they have their own Facebook page if you just go online to the Bonobo Connection, and also the website, thebonoboconnection.com, where you can get the latest news, find the latest screenings. It's actually going to be screening next week at the Chesapeake Film Festival.
Oh, fantastic.
Next Sunday. Yeah. And currently right now, a lot of people are asking, especially professors and educators they want this documentary for their classroom. So I've just been kind of selling them on an as needed basis. But if people want to just see the film, I'm happy to, if you send me an email to irene@thebonoboconnection.com, I'm happy to share the online link with you.
That's great. Yeah, you can get a Premiere Gal discount. Direct link. All right. Well, thank you so much, guys. And if you have any other women out there or male counterparts, any filmmakers that you want to recommend for Premiere Gal of the Month, just let me know. All right. See you guys next time. Bye.
See ya.
And
bye.
Toby says bye too.
Yes, he does.
Bye.